Hi gang, it's Nikki here. Have you ever felt a little stuck creatively? Like you are doing a lot of creative work, but it always seems to be that your creativity is focused on customers or making somebody else some money rather than it being your own self-expression. It's really difficult for us creatives because, myself included, we need to be pragmatic about our lives, we need to make money, we need to pay the bills, and it can be very difficult finding the balance in life of doing work that comes from our soul and getting the money coming in. And one of the things I really want to impress on you is that doing stuff from your own heart, doing passion projects where there isn't a customer in mind, is actually really vital to make time for. And I'd like to share a little story of one of my clients with you today who was in this dilemma, and it actually led him to completely changing his life and becoming more successful ultimately in his career. So I worked with a guy called Luca who came to me. He was a creative director. He had some success, he had some really good work, great website, good CV, very impressive. However, he was feeling really stifled creatively, and he also wasn't getting the kind of work that really inspired him. And he'd also been trying to get an agent for a long time. That was another frustration for him. He was always feeling like a lot of his time was put into trying to get work, and he really longed for an agent, but he was sending out his website, his CV to agents, and he wasn't getting any callback from people, and it was really affecting him. So anyway, when we got together, we really explored who he was as a creative, like what inspired him, what he needed to feel at his most creative. And it turns out what he realized was his whole life didn't reflect his values. One thing that really inspired Luca was light and space, and he was living in a flat in London where he was in a basement, and all aspects of his life were not conducive to him really harnessing his creativity. So as a result of our coaching, he made some really bold decisions. He actually left his London flat, went to Greece for a while, and because of the international nature of work, he could still do his projects, but it gave him some space to focus on purely doing passion projects. So he started sketching and making little videos and doing lots of different projects just for the sake of it, just purely to express himself. And what I also think is really fascinating is that he came up with a new body of work that was really unusual and quirky and full of humour, and it was pretty maverick, pretty avant-garde. And one day, Luca spotted an artist that he really admired and saw who their agent was. And he thought, oh, okay, I'll send my new work to this agent just to see what happens. And he did. And literally within minutes, he got a call from this agent saying, we love your work, we want to meet you. And they took him on. Isn't that unbelievable? Amazing, isn't it? So all those years, Luca had been focusing on trying to create work, to get more work in the advertising industry where he had been working, by letting go of pleasing anyone and just doing work from his own expression. It led him to getting the kind of work that really inspired him and getting an agent. I think it's extraordinary. It takes some guts, but actually I think passion projects are really the only way that you can learn about yourself as a creative, that you can potentially guide your career in the direction that's going to be right for you in the long term. So I really want to encourage you, create space in your life to do work for nobody else but you. Do it from your creative heart. And if you are inspired by this and would like to work with me, I'm actually running a workshop in London on the 28th of September, and it's called Trailblazing Creatives, and it's all about learning about you as a creative, helping you to cultivate more awareness on what are the kind of projects that would light you up. What do you really want to do in your creative career or your creative business? And it will also teach you the art of communicating about your work in a way that's intriguing and inspiring, because learning to tell stories around the kind of work you would love to do will lead you in the direction of getting more jobs or more contracts that are right for you as a creative. So it's really important work. And before I say goodbye, I'd love to know from you, what is a passion project that you keep putting off that you would love to do if you could create the time? Do leave me a comment below this vlog, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.